and then I noticed in my rearview mirror that his reverse lights came on. I just saw him coming at me really quick in my mirror. Even before he pulled up next to me, I had already pulled my Byrna from my appendix, and I just had it sitting between my legs.
I do a lot of nighttime driving as well. I'm in quite a few shady areas, unfortunately. And, I had an incident at a gas station.
That I bought the Byrna was because there was a girl that was murdered on the running trail that I run the day after I ran it with my son.
He got out of the car and started working his way around. I could tell he was really drunk, really drunk. Once he rounded the front of his car and he was between his and mine, probably 4 or 5 feet away is when I ended up actually drawing it up. And I'm not going to risk talking like men to a drunk guy who's road raging. It's just too much at risk.
Ran up against a transient. I get out of my vehicle, always check my surroundings, cover my six. And just the gentleman approached. I didn't see him. He had the smell of liquor on his breath. And, I just told him step back, asked him, what do you need? I need you to come, out of my personal space, out of my safety zone. And, he proceeded to go forward. And I just did what I had to do at that moment.
I felt like I'm totally in a safe position to now use my Byrna. And he stopped in his tracks, like even though he was insulting me, and he started working his way back to his car. And so I felt like at that time it would have been safe for me to not have to shoot him.
I proceeded to reach into my bag for my SD launcher, and once he knew that the situation was not something to joke around with, he went on ahead and stepped back, put his hands up, and I asked him, step back a little bit more for me and just, stay right there. I'm going to call the authorities because I don't know what your intentions may have been, sir, but this wasn't going to be a good thing for either of us.
I remember getting home and being like, I'm never not going to have this on me now.
And so with the Byrna SD launcher, it gives me that accessibility and accountability to protect myself without having to worry about taking a life, because you can't get that back.
And I'm a boxer, but I've also been a victim of sexual assault. And I know that even though I'm a boxer, even though I have the skills to put somebody down if I need to, I know that my reaction, my fight or flight reaction, is actually freeze. I don't know what to do. I completely freeze in that moment. In addition to that, I Uber. I need to feel safe. I need to feel as if I freeze, there's something there that really doesn't require for me to take out my skill and use a whole bunch of mental capacity to figure out how to punch, how to, stick it to them, essentially. All I need to know is where to point. And it being less lethal helps out a lot because, one, I'm a DACA student, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. So I'm not allowed to own an actual weapon, an actual gun. But also, too, it allows for me to know that even if I end up hitting somebody with it, yes, there's always that potential for lethality, but it allows for me to know that they're also going to be okay and they're going to be able to be taken care of by the justice system. And that's going to put them away better than I ever could. So, yeah. Thank you for the opportunity.